Hey bugs, welcome back to my channel. I'm back, bitches, back like I never left. Okay, let's get into this video quick because this video is long overdue, like a month, almost 2 months overdue, and I know you guys have been dying to hear the story. I'm gonna try, like seriously, like for real, I'm gonna try not to get emotional during this story because I don't want to get like sidetracked or like have to gather myself back up again. Because this is a really personal, obviously this is a really personal video, and that's kind of why I feel like it's taken me so long to film this, because I had to make sure I was okay to speak about it and to let the whole world, the whole internet, all of my subscribers know exactly what happened when I did give birth. And so I had to make sure I was right mentally, physically, you know, kind of spend time with my daughter as well, kind of get into a routine of becoming a mom and being a mom, you know. So I think that's why this has taken me 2 months to film, because that's a lot to like get in order. But like I said, let's just jump right in. So on Father's Day, we went to Pluckers, we went out to eat with Noah, and then we came home, and now I've been having some problems with my blood pressure during my pregnancy, well towards the end of my pregnancy, and my blood pressure was just like going through the roof. I came home, I laid down, and I was like, okay, well I cut out sodas, I cut out like fries, anything with heavy salt, sodium, all of that stuff, and my blood pressure was still going crazy. I'll insert some like screenshots of my blood pressure. I ended up buying like an at-home blood pressure thing that you can like check it, and it was just going insane. Like it was ridiculous how high it was, and so I was getting really scared. But I was like, well, the doctor already told me that I'm gonna be induced the day after Father's Day at 5 a.m. So I was like, it's really no big deal, I can just wait, like I'll wait until the morning, I'm already gonna be induced, everything will be okay. So I went to lay down, and I was laying down for a little bit, and then I got up again to check my blood pressure, and I sent a screenshot of it to my mother-in-law because she's a nurse. And I was like, hey, this is my blood pressure, do you think I'm still good to wait till the morning? And she was like, absolutely not, you need to go to the hospital right now, like that's really bad. If your blood pressure gets too high, especially while you're pregnant, you can start having seizures, and that can be, you know, obviously danger for me and Evangeline. So I was like freaking out. I was like, okay, then we need to get to the hospital like right now. I called my mom, I called my sister, I called my mother-in-law. Actually, we went to my mother-in-law's house so that she could take my blood pressure just in case I was doing it wrong, because I was like, there's no way my blood pressure is this high. Like maybe I'm just doing it wrong, or maybe I just needed to rest for a little bit before I took it. And we went to my mother-in-law's, and she was like, no, you need to go to the hospital like right now. So we go to the hospital that I already knew I was going to deliver at, and they checked my blood pressure, and they were like, yeah, this is really high. Let me go call the doctor and see what he wants to do. So I was like, okay. So I'm laying there in the hospital, and my mother-in-law's there, my father-in-law's there, my mom's already there, Nathan's there, you know, and everybody's kind of just waiting to see what happens. And then the doctor's like, well, you might as well just stay overnight because you're going to be induced at 5 a.m. anyways. So I really didn't want to do that. I really wanted to go back home and kind of spend one last night in my bed. But unfortunately, I didn't really have a choice. So they kept us overnight, which was completely uncomfortable. So I had to sleep in the hospital bed, and they had IVs already running through me and all of that. Oh, so while they were checking my blood pressure, they put like these little things on your stomach when you're pregnant to like check the baby's like movement and all that stuff. And they were like, you're already having contractions. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, they're really low, but you're already starting to have contractions. Like, you don't feel it? And I was like, no, I don't feel it at all. So they hooked me up to an IV, and I had to like literally stay with that IV stand. So anytime I wanted to get up, I literally had to call a nurse to like help me get up and go to the bathroom. Then the next morning, I was like, okay, today's the day, I'm gonna have my baby. Like, I was really nervous. I was kind of like freaking out. But 5 a.m. comes around and the doctor's not there. So it turns out he was running really late, so I was like, okay, that's fine. So I was really freaking out anyway, so I was like trying to postpone it as much as possible. At the time, I was like, okay, take your sweet time, I'm in no rush. Like, I was terrified. So I'm waiting in the room, and they already told me that I can't eat anything. All they had for me to eat was like these popsicles that literally have like no flavor, and ice chips. So finally the nurse comes in, and she's like, okay, we're gonna induce you. So they put like a balloon. How did he explain it? It's like a balloon in my uterus, I think. Okay, I don't know the terms, I don't know all the organs, okay? I just know that there was a balloon inside me, and then there was like a wall, and then there was another balloon, and they pumped up balloons inside of me. I don't know if they were like balloons you buy at the dollar store. I don't know what it was, but he described it as a balloon. So I'm going to describe it to you as a balloon. So they used the 2 balloons to pump, I guess to like open up my cervix, uterus, open up something. They were opening up a lot of things, okay, and to help me dilate. So that hurt so much. That hurt so much. So I had already made plans to get my makeup done by one of my closest friends. This girl is amazing. I'm gonna post a screenshot of her Instagram right here. You've got to go follow her. She is the only person I trust to do my makeup, my hair, anything like that. I love her to death. She does photography, she does makeup. I mean, she's just amazing. So you need to go follow her. Well, anyways, so I made plans with her already to do my makeup the day that I had my baby, because of course, me being extra as fuck, I wanted my makeup done. I wanted to take photos after she was born. Like, I had this whole plan of what I was gonna do. So the moment that they give me the drugs to induce me, the pain scale went from like a 4 to a 10. I mean, I was like curled up on the side of the bed, and you'll see because Nathan filmed this part. I was like curled up on the side of the bed, like could not move, couldn't talk, like had my eyes closed. I was in so much pain. I just remember like I didn't even remember to breathe because the pain was so bad. I was just like sucking in my breath. Like, I don't know why I thought that that would make the pain less, but it didn't work. It didn't work.
If you don't breathe, it's going to hurt more.
It's going to fall on me.
Let's hope she just
We wish.
breathe, baby, breathe.
Fortunately, it doesn't happen that way, because if it did, I'd probably be out of a job.
Remember, focus on your breathing.
So then the nurse is like, look, we can give you this drug that's going to be like a painkiller, but if you give birth within like, I think like 4 hours after taking the painkiller, you can't have your baby immediately. Like, we'll have to take your baby away to make sure that it's okay because the drug is that strong, because your pain is that bad. And at first I was like, no, I don't want to do that, because I didn't know when the baby was going to come. How I pictured it was, you're induced, within an hour your baby's like already trying to come out. Like, that's how I pictured it. That's how I thought that's how it worked. I didn't know what the fuck I was thinking. So anyway, so at first I was like, no, I don't want it. I can handle it. Like, I just want to do this. Like, when do I get the epidural? You know, like, when is my baby coming? And so we waited a little bit. I think maybe I waited like 5 more minutes, and then I was like, fuck it, give me the drug, because it hurt so fucking bad. Like, I'm telling you, it hurt bad. And my whole body was already like swollen. Like, you're gonna see in the footage, guys, I was swollen, like swollen. My whole face was swollen, my arms, my legs, my feet, like everything. Everything was like 15 times bigger on me. I don't know why. I guess because of the IV, all the water, and I guess my body just getting ready to, you know, give birth. It was bad. So while I'm like telling her, hey, like, I think I am gonna, you know, get the drug, my friend walks in and she's like getting ready to do my makeup, and I'm just in so much pain, like so much pain. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get my makeup done and like be in this pain. Like, I just want to curl up in a little ball. Like, it hurts so bad. She's setting up, like getting ready to do my makeup, and I'm literally like holding on to the bed in so much pain. And then the nurse comes over here and she's like, okay, I'm gonna put the painkiller in really slow, because if I do it fast, it'll give you a head rush. And she's like, and in the matter of like 30 seconds, you're gonna automatically like just feel better, you know? And she's like, but I want to warn you, this is a very strong painkiller. And she was like, you're basically gonna feel like you're high, you know, like it's a drug. And I was like, oh shit. She slowly starts putting it in, and not even 30 seconds, I think like 5 seconds after she put that needle in my IV, I was out of there. Like, I was gone, guys.
Oh my
Like,
god.
people are filming or whatever.
That was
Like-
so fast.
It's like all those dentist
How you feeling?
videos.
Can I talk? I don't know. No. What's going on?
Oh yeah, she doesn't do drugs, so it's really gonna get her.
Yeah. Great.
Ooh, everything's hot. Because you walked in.
Alright, so after we're done with the glam thing, it would be a good idea to
I can't feel me talk. Like, I can't even talk.
Oh my gosh, she said the only thing I could feel.
What happened? I was in so much pain and now I'm not. And it's so heavy to talk. Oh, I gotta check my blood pressure. Hold on. Give me a sec. Forgot I gotta breathe.
Don't forget.
Yeah, breathing is good. You do gotta do that.
Yeah, don't forget to breathe. It's very important.
Man, I should have asked for this shit a long time ago. Like, right when we got here. I feel great.
I'm gonna FaceTime Devin,
This feels so good. Just a little heating pad. Little,
Medicine.
yeah, a little medicine. I'm telling you, my voice is heavy. Do I sound heavier? Do I sound
Yeah, you
deeper?
do.
You sound so deep.
Okay. So it's not just fucking me in my head. Okay. How are you? How are you? I was in the middle of a terrible cramp when you walked in.
It's okay.
Okay. You look great.
Thank you. So
She just got back from LA too.
Yeah,
Little Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. So we're setting up to do Brittany's makeup because she wants to look pretty for this.
She brought the
She's
ring
knocked
back.
out.
Yeah, she's out now. She's on them drugs.
Oh wait, I know.
Oh. I'm awake,
She
guys.
hears us talking shit.
Life through the ring light.
It was insane. Like, the drug was so heavy, I could barely even open my eyes, which is kind of good because, like, she could do my eyeshadow really well because I wasn't tempted to open my eyes at all. But, I mean, I was, like, out of there. Like, I didn't feel no pain. I was like, let's have this baby. Let's do this. Like, I'm ready. And then come the most iconic pictures I think I've ever taken.
She asked if you wanted a fresh one.
That way earlier, I was like, wait, everything started happening. I'm like, just go with it. Just go with it. Just said like, oh.
These are my labor pictures. I'll post them right here if you haven't already seen them. I post them on my Instagram and my friend posted them on her Instagram as well. Not only that, but the Shade Room posted it and I was like, what the fuck? This is insane. And the whole time that we're like doing this whole photo shoot, like literally this whole photo shoot, in the back of my mind I'm like, when am I gonna have my baby? Like, it's already been a couple hours now since the nurse gave me those painkillers. I was like, this is weird. Like, I expected it to like be a little faster. You know, I don't know why I thought everything was just gonna happen really fast. It did not work out like that at all. So my friend leaves, you know, I'm just waiting there. The painkillers have already worn off. The pain has now came back and I'm in a lot of pain still. My makeup's done and I'm just like, what is going on? So then the nurse comes in and checks me and I'm at like a, I think she said I was at like a 3 centimeters dilated. And I was like, a 3? Like, this has been hours. Like, it's already like 8 p.m. Like, the day is already about to be over. Like, what is going on? So she's like, well, you know, sometimes it takes a lot longer. We're gonna let you sleep overnight and we'll check again in the morning. So I was like, okay. So I ended up spending another night in the hospital. So that day I actually had to wipe off all that gorgeous makeup. That's what I get for trying to plan, thinking that everything was gonna go according to plan. No, this did not go how I wanted it to go at all whatsoever. So I ended up spending another night there, another night with no food, just eating ice chips, no water. Also, you can't drink anything. Nathan was literally up all night editing the videos that I did post while I was in labor and while I was in the hospital and all of that. He was up editing and I was just trying to sleep through the pain, honestly. Like, it was very difficult to try to fall asleep while you literally feel like your insides are about to fall out of you. But my mom stayed with me, my mother-in-law stayed there, and Nathan was there as well, so that really helped, you know, kind of like keep motivating me and keep my spirits high. So I was just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and literally that is why we didn't film so much, because we were just waiting. They took out the balloon and they said I got dilated to a 6. So I was like, a 6, okay, that's 3 more centimeters, that's close. You have to make it to a 10. I was like, that's more than halfway there. That's good. We can do this. We can do this. So then, now that I was dilated to 6 centimeters, they wanted me to get my epidural. So everybody had to leave the room, and I got it, and I was terrified of the epidural. Like, terrified of it. I thought it was gonna be this huge traumatic thing, which, I mean, really, it was like after the balloon and after like all that pain, I was like, I don't even give a fuck. Like, give me something, you know, like give me this shot. So basically they had me like hold on to a pillow like this, and I kind of like hunched forward, and to like put this tape on my back, I guess, to like know exactly where she needs to put the needle. And on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 5. Like, you could feel it, but you couldn't really feel it. But this is what nobody tells you. So the epidural, well, for me at least, was like 2 shots. So what they do is they give you a shot and it numbs you, and then they give you the epidural, which is like the drug or whatever it is, and you can like feel it like moving in your back. Like you can like feel it. I don't know, it's like a weird feeling, but it's not like painful. Like the little poke of the needle is kind of painful, but like I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 5. Like it's not really anything where it's like, oh my God, you know. But I was kind of shocked that it was 2 shots. Like it's 2 needles. It's not just 1 and done, it's 2. So, well, at least for me, I don't know about anybody else, but that's what my hospital did. After I got the epidural, I was very, very excited. I thought, you know, like the time is coming. Like I've already spent days in the hospital, you know, in pain waiting on her, and I was disappointed again because she still wasn't dilating. I stayed at a 6 for hours and hours and hours and hours, and it was to where my epidural was already like wearing off. So I don't know, I guess I thought like once you get the epidural, like that's a good sign. That means, you know, I'm gonna have her soon, and it didn't really work like that. After the epidural started wearing off, they were like, okay, we're gonna break your water, which I was not happy about at all. I didn't want that. I didn't want them to break it. I wanted my water to break naturally. I mean, I know I got the epidural and people are gonna be like, that's not natural, whatever the fuck, I don't care. But everything else, I wanted to experience it naturally, you know, like I wanted to have that exciting moment where my water breaks and I'm like screaming at Nathan to get in the car and let's go to the hospital, and you know, I have my baby within hours of that, and that just didn't happen at all, obviously. And I don't know, I was really disappointed, but I was like, okay, it is what it is. Like in my head at the time, I was like, well, I'm still gonna have her naturally, you know, so that's fine, everything's okay. Like it's just another thing that didn't go as planned, but that's okay. Like plans don't always work out. It broke my water, and I was in a lot of pain already because, like I said, the epidural was wearing off. So I told them, I was like, hey, because I was like tweeting, I was like live tweeting everything, and people were telling me, well, ask for the peanut. They were like saying I used the peanut and I dilated like a whole bunch. So I was like, okay, well, can I try the peanut? And it's basically this huge purple peanut shaped ball that you kind of like put your whole leg over.
Okay, so the doctor just came in and broke my water, and he said that I'm now dilated to like a 7, almost an 8. So we're just gonna go with 8.
Yes, we are.
But I am currently using this peanut ball to try to help me dilate more. We were stuck at 6 centimeters for like 20 hours. So to hear that I'm finally dilating, it's like, yes. So I'm very excited. We have back here my mother-in-law, we have my mom, and my nephew Henry. You see how they made this whole little section there?
Mm-hmm.
Got an iMac, a whole bed, like everything. We were prepared. We were definitely very prepared. I'm starving, and that's about it right now. I feel a lot of pressure, but that's about it. I've been living off popsicles and ice chips. Do you want to know what ice chips are?
What does that mean?
Fucking ice. It's just ice.
Why do
They just
call it
put chips, I guess, to make you feel better that you're eating something. I don't know.
It's wax chips.
I look like crap. I haven't brushed my hair or my teeth. I haven't even brushed my teeth because I can't get up and walk. Evangeline's gonna meet me with some stanky ass brushes. She's gonna be like,
I was doing that for a couple hours, and I was in a lot of pain. Oh my god, I remember that pain because it felt like my body was telling me to push, like push out, and the nurse was like, don't push, you know. She said something. She was like, don't push because you can get an infection or something, and then once you get an infection, like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but I remember specifically she was telling me don't push down and, you know, don't do anything. And I was like, you need to check if I'm dilated because I have the urge to like push, like my baby's ready to come out. And so she checked if I was dilated, and I was dilated to a 7. I think she said I was dilated to like a 7, 7.5 kind of. And so I was like, oh, that's good. Like I'm progressing. And she's like, no, not really. She was like, this, you should have been dilated way more, you know, like, but it's okay, keep trying. So then that's when shit got real. So the nurse that I had like 3 different nurses over the course of my stay because I was there for so long, and their shifts would end and then a new nurse would come, a new nurse. So I had 3 nurses. And so my last and final nurse came in, and she had another lady with her, and I was like, okay, well maybe this is like my next nurse or something. And she's like, no, she's a doctor, she just wanted to talk to you and wanted to check if you were dilating anymore. So she finally checks me again, and at this point I think I was like at an 8, but I had been an 8 for like hours. Like I can't really explain to you, like it might feel like everything's happening really fast as I'm explaining the story, but between like my water breaking, the peanut, the freaking balloon, like all of that is like hours and hours spread apart from each other. Like hours of just sitting there in pain, waiting, like waiting and waiting and waiting. So when she comes in, she's like, you're at an 8, but you've been at an 8 for a while. And since we already broke your water, there's like a time span, because you can't just sit in labor forever after your water's broken, because you can get an infection or your baby can get an infection. And I was already feeling really feverish at the time. And so she was like, I remember she just kept saying, she was like, as long as we did everything we could on our end, there's nothing else we can do. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, you're looking at the possibility of a C-section. And I was like, no, like I don't want that. Like I know, but we've done everything we're supposed to do, you know, on our end to help you have her naturally. But there's nothing else we can do. Time is running out. Your water's been broken for too long already. She was like, we should have told you this hours ago, but we already know how you feel about it. Because my doctor knew I didn't want a C-section. Because I was like, I want to have her naturally. Like, this is what I meant to do. You know, and that's kind of what like kept going through my head, like running through my head, was everybody that's told me like, you're a woman, like this is what your body's made to do, like, you know, this is what you're supposed to do, your body will know what to do, like all of this stuff. And I was like, what is going on? Like, why is my body not cooperating? So she left the room, and I like immediately started crying. My mom and Nathan and everybody kind of like came to like hug me, and they're like, it's okay. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to have a C-section. Like, I don't want to have a C-section. First of all, I'm terrified of even the thought of surgery. Well, I was, still kind of am. And I was like, that's just not what I want. Like, no, like nothing has gone as planned. Like this isn't what was supposed to happen at all, you know? And so I was just like crying and crying, and it was kind of a mix of that and a mix of me not eating for days and like being in pain the whole time and just like being so tired because the nurses come in. Oh my god, the nurses come in like every 15 minutes, which I know they're supposed to be checking on you, but I could not sleep. I could not sleep at all. So it was a lot. Like, I was mentally and physically just exhausted, and I was like, I don't want a C-section. Like, that terrified me. That's not something that I wanted. And so then she comes in again, and this time she comes in with my doctor, and they're basically like, you don't really have a choice. Like, the baby needs to come out. We need to get you ready. You're gonna have a C-section. Like, you just have to accept it. That's basically like what they told me. And again, I just broke down crying, and everybody was kind of like surrounding me, and they're like, it's gonna be okay. And I was like, no, like, I'm not. See, this is why it took me so long to film this, because it just like made me feel like I wasn't capable of doing something that like I was meant to do, you know? I'm okay. I'm okay. But anyway, so I was like crying or whatever, and then they're like, we gotta get you ready, like, it just, okay, so anyways, I was crying, basically, I was just crying a lot. So, they get me ready, which basically what ready is like they have to like shave you down there, because it's like a surgery, you know. So they shaved me, and then they gave Nathan like this whole like suit thing to like wear, and like a mask and all of that, and everybody's just like telling me like, it's gonna be okay, you're gonna be great, like Evangeline's gonna be here, just focus on that, like your baby's gonna be here, it's finally happening. Then they like wheeled me into the next room. And the next room, I guess, was like the operating room or whatever. But Nathan couldn't go in there with me because for the first like 15 minutes of it happening, like they have to get ready and like sterilize everything, or I don't know what they had to do. But the first 15 minutes, Nathan couldn't be in there with me. I had to be in there by myself. And of course I could only have one person in there with me, so my mom wasn't able to be in there with me. The plan was when I delivered, my mother-in-law, my mother, and Nathan were going to be in there. But during a C-section, you're only allowed one person. So I'm laying there, and she starts like pinching my stomach, because literally I'm laying there like naked, like all these doctors and nurses are looking at me completely naked. And she starts like pinching my stomach, and I'm like, ow, like that hurts. And she's like, you can feel that? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, starts pinching my legs, and I was like, I can feel that. It's because I got the epidural, remember? And so they thought that my epidural was still like working, and it had stopped. So when I told her that, she was like, oh my God, like we gotta paralyze you again, basically. And which means I had to have 2 more shots, but these shots were different than the epidural. It was like way stronger. I don't exactly know what it's called, but it was way different than the epidural. But it was 2 more shots to the spine, which is why my back to this day is completely fucked up. But I had to get those 2, and I was like crying, like ugly crying. Like they had me holding the pillow too, and the nurse that I had, she was so sweet. She was like, I'm so sorry, you know, like that this like happened and that it's not like what you wanted. And she just like felt so bad for me, and shit, I felt bad for me, you know, like I'm not saying like, and I know it's crazy because some people like prefer C-sections, which is completely fine. It's just for me personally, that's just not what I wanted. That wasn't the plan, like I said. And I was scared. I mean, I was terrified. I was like, what the fuck, you know, like like a C-section was so far from my mind. I don't think I got the chance to like even mentally prepare for what was about to happen, you know, because now it was happening quick. Like first here I am thinking like, oh, my water's broken, my baby's about to come, to like, oh my God, I have to like be cut open, you know. So it was a lot. So she was like feeling so bad for me, but she was so sweet. And all the doctors in there were really sweet, and they were just telling me like everything's gonna be okay, it's gonna be fast, it's gonna be like an hour, and then your baby's here, you know, and you won't feel anything, it'll just feel like pressure, you won't see anything, like you'll be fine. So one thing that I really noticed was the difference in the shot from the epidural and from when they paralyzed me for the surgery, was this shot made you shake like your whole body was like convulsing. Like my body was like convulsing, well, just my arms and stuff, because everything else like I couldn't feel. And so they had to strap my arms down. They had to literally strap my arms down. So I'm laying there strapped, like crying my eyes out, and they had to strap me down because my arms were shaking so much that I could have literally like knocked myself out. So they had me strapped, and they're like, don't fight it, like it's just gonna make it worse, like just let your arms shake, you know. And so that's what was going on. And they put like a oxygen through my nose, and they like put like a cap on me, and then they put a sheet so that I couldn't see anything. And that's when they started working, and I don't know what they did. I think somebody told me that like when it starts they like burn your nerves or something. And I think that's true, because I remember smelling burnt flesh. And if that's not the most traumatic thing you can think of, I was literally smelling my flesh burn. Like, what the fuck? Like I could smell the smoke. Like it smelled like burning, like something was burning. And I was literally just like laying there, and I was like, I gotta like try to sleep, you know, because I haven't slept in like 3 days. I was like, it's gonna be an hour. I'm never gonna like handle this mentally, so I just need to like go to sleep. Like I need to go to sleep. So finally Nathan comes in and he's like petting my head, and we're like talking, and I'm like, babe, I need to just go to sleep. Like I'm so exhausted. So I fell asleep for a little bit, and then I woke back up, and Nathan's like, I think they're almost done. And I was like, up. Like now I was like, I'm up. Like what's going on? So then I hear this. So I'm gonna play the voice memo. So we couldn't record in the C-section room, right? Because they don't allow videotapes. They allow pictures, but they don't allow you to record. But Nathan got a voice memo of it, and this is what I heard when I woke up.
Dad, you got the camera?
Yeah, stand up, Danny.
Got the camera, Dad?
No.
He doesn't? Okay.
You got the camera? Yeah, we don't want to pass it out. You got the camera?
Yeah.
Here, you want me to take pictures?
Oh, I didn't even know I had that on there.
That's big baby. It's a girl.
That girl took giving so much trouble. Oh my goodness.
Oh, gracious. She had a haircut.
I like the girl. I've never heard of that haircut like that, so I'm glad I get to hear you tell her about. I'm the photographer. Photographer, go, photographer, go.
I can hardly lift this baby. Look at the haircut. Look at that.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh, that's right, baby. We want to look at our. Oh my God.
So then the doctors ask Nathan if he wants to cut the umbilical cord, and at first we had both decided that he wouldn't because I was scared he was gonna like faint, but he actually did, and everything went great. And he cut her umbilical cord, and then they laid her next to me. I'll put a picture right here. I can't even explain like the feeling of like knowing that my daughter was just born. You know, like it was insane. And I hated that my arms were strapped because I literally just wanted to like grab her and hold her. They finally like clean me up, and they sit me up, and they have me hold her, and so I have her in my arms, and they roll us back into the room, and literally there's like 15-16 people waiting in my freaking room. And I love that we have all of these friends like there for her, but I was exhausted, bitch. Like I was so fucking tired. I remember holding her, and I was like already like nodding off. And so I had picked to hold her for the first hour that she was born, like they call it like skin to skin for an hour. And so I had her, and she was already hungry. So I literally like, after going through all of that, I was like, I gotta breastfeed.
Oh my goodness. Oh, she's ready to eat. Are you trying to breastfeed already? To eat. Look at how big her eyes are.
So I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but the nurse was right there, and they're like, look, just, you know, let her latch on and all of that. So I started breastfeeding, and then when that happened, that's when everybody like left the room and all of that. So then after I got done breastfeeding and I spent the hour to hour skin to skin, they put her in like the little baby thing, crib thing. And then that's when everybody in the family kind of got to hold her and see her, and you know, I finally got to like lay back and rest a little bit because I was so exhausted.
Look at us, Mom. Look at us.
Any pain?
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
Just get it down. Bend your knees.
Ooh.
Uh,
No
Yeah.
kissing.
your ankles.
I'm not gonna kiss her.
Just move it.
Better not. That yuck mouth.
And this one.
Ow. Ow.
How gray they are. Wow. Look how gray her eyes are. So beautiful.
Like a champ, you have a
I am a champ.
proud of you. You did that. Things you did. That.
And then they moved us to the recovery room, or what is it called? It's called a postpartum. I think it's called postpartum, like the postpartum rooms. And I finally got to eat first since I had a C-section, they only let me eat like Jello and stuff like that and pudding. I literally ate like 6 puddings. 6 puddings, like 12 Jellos. I was drinking all the apple juice I could. Like, a bitch was hungry. I was so fucking hungry. And not only that, but another thing I remember is the shot that they gave me to like paralyze me also made my eyes itch so bad. Like, my eyes were itching so freaking bad. I thought I was having like some type of allergic reaction, but they were like, no, that's just like a symptom of it.
Look at her. What are you looking at?
She has my nose.
She does have your nose.
My little nose.
She's tired. Are you tired?
She is.
That was our first night with her, and since I did have a C-section, we had to spend 3 days in the hospital, and I could literally not even move. Like, my legs, my whole body was still completely swollen. On the second day, so the day after I had her, they wanted me to get up and take a shower, and walking, like, I keep saying this is the worst pain, but it was like the pain just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Trying to walk after a C-section, oh my god, like, I felt like my whole insides were ripping apart. Like, it hurt so bad, and they had me wear this like belt, and Nathan literally had to like carry me to the bathroom, and he washed me. Like, he had to wash my body because I could not move.
Alright guys, so we're giving her first bath, and giving her that first class treatment.
Nice. That's what I need.
You deserve it, she deserves it. This girl right here is a boss. Like, you're a trooper, you're a champion, you're a warrior. Like, I'm proud of you, man. Love you.
It was just bad. So we had to spend 3 days in the hospital after that, and then we came home, and and now it has just been recovery ever since then. Now I am almost 2 months recovering. You know, my baby's almost 2 months. She'll be 2 months on the 18th, and I'm a lot better now. Like, when I first came back home, there was still a lot of like pain, and it's more like a burning sensation inside of you. So it's not like aches. It's like your hips are like burning, and it's because they say it takes 3 years to recover on the inside of your body. So like the outside of my body can look like it's recovered and all that, but on the inside it takes about 3 years. So that fucking sucks. Also, I thought the scar was gonna be like huge because hello, they're taking a whole baby out of me, and my baby was 8 pounds. But thank God the scar is literally like this big, and it's right above my bikini line, so you can barely, like, you can't see it in like bathing suits, you can't see it in shorts, you can't see it with my panties on, like nothing. It's like very well hidden, and it's very, very small. So thank God I had a really good doctor that could do that for me. So yeah, little bugs, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know you guys have been asking forever for it, so I'm so sorry it took me so long, but I had to make sure that I could keep these tears in, okay? You almost got me. I almost started crying, but I'm good. I'm good. All that matters is that my baby's okay, I'm okay. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm just so blessed to have her here with me, and I know y'all are dying to see her. I know y'all are dying to see her on YouTube because none of my YouTube love bugs have seen her yet. If you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of that, you already have, so you already know what she looks like. But I'm going to bring her in just in case you don't follow me, but make sure you do. All my ads are in the description box, guys. Bring her in.
Bright lights!
Look, mamas!
Bright light! Bright light!
Everybody, love bugs, this is Brittney-Kay Ontiveros.
Say hi!
Say hi, mamas!
She's like, I can barely see.
I know, the lights are too bright. The lights are too bright.
Say hi!
She looks just like her daddy. Just like her daddy. But her personality is on me. She's very sassy, very bougie, very spoiled already. Right, mamas? Very spoiled. Her hair, her hair sticks up. There's literally nothing we can do. Every time I try to brush it, it just sticks up. So if y'all know any like really good hair products for babies, nothing with like a bunch of chemicals or anything like that, maybe something organic to help her hair, comment down below. What do you want to say to them? Like, she can't stop staring at herself in the monitor.
Say hi.
Say
I
hi.
look just like my daddy.
Her eyes are like a bluish gray right now.
Mhm.
What color do you think she'll have? Oh, you have eyeliner.
Probably like a light brown.
I think so. I think she's gonna have your eyes.
Yeah, that's how
She
Noah's,
has red eyebrows, guys,
Yeah.
and a dimple. I'm like, where?
Noah's eyes
Where'd you
used
get
to be
this
that
from?
same color for about a year, and then they changed like over time. They just got really light.
Look at her. Look at my
Hey,
budget.
perfect opportunity.
What?
Family channel.
Shut up.
My
Look
beard
at her.
is dyed like
Look
way
at
too
her.
dark. My hair is kind of messed up.
Her little yellow dress. Nathan dressed her today, and I
Yeah.
love this
I
one.
always put the cutest outfits on her. That's why she's a daddy's girl. She's like,
Shut up.
love my dad.
No. Follow me on Instagram and watch my Instagram stories. I'm always dressing her very cute. Right, mamas? Right.
Always.
Look, she can't stop staring.
Jeez,
She's
look
like, is that me?
This
That's
is the beginning
you.
of her YouTube career. She's like, she's gonna look
She
back
sees her
and be
whole
like,
future.
I remember the day. The bright lights, the monitor so I can watch myself.
Alright, love bugs, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you guys so much, and there will be plenty videos coming soon, I promise, with Evangeline K. Ontiveros. That's such a princess name, right? Such a princess name.
She's a fairy tale.
You are, mamas.
Say bye.
Say bye, love bugs.
I gotta change the poopy diaper.
Bye, love bugs.